So hello and welcome. My name is Linda Evenden and I will be your host. This is one of my favorite events. We call it Girls Just Want to Have Funs. And it ain't that the truth? Is that not the truth? That we want fun, that we want to make impact, that we want to be filled with purpose, that we want to hang out with great people and be paid to do that while we're at it. And I was always on the search for that, friends. Oh man, let me think about my careers. I've been in corporate, I've been a stay-at-home mum, I have been a sole business owner, I've been a partnership owner. I have done it all, and there are pros and cons to each of them. But what I learned was the number one thing that I was missing and craving in all of my career life was income, impact, and great people to work with, the people that I choose to work with. They were essential to me. And I almost gave up on the dream that you could have it all, that you could actually find something that was fulfilling and rewarding, financially rewarding, and that also was flexible with lots of great people to be surrounded by. I'm such a people person. And I found it. And today we get to share a little bit with you about how many of us women have been able to really create and design a life that we love, that is based around our values and our highest priorities. For some women today, you'll hear that was more family time, more magic moments. Maybe it was that extra amount of money as a side income to top up, because Lord knows one income is not enough in one house, let alone two these days. Also the certainty of working on your own dreams instead of always working on someone else's. And would you agree, it's been a pretty uncertain time around the world for the last year and a part. And here's what I love knowing, that what I do on a daily basis, I get paid for the rest of my life. And I'm going to say that again, because that's what this is about. Small actions that really add up over time. I was searching for a way that I could find something that would match my work ethic, that was flexible, and that wasn't just me doing dollars for hours anymore, because I became so capped with that in my life. And every minute, I got very, very clear that every minute that I was away from my number one priorities, my family, it had to be important. It had to be adding value in my life. And learning the hard way, I was really able to examine that and see, you know what, this isn't worth it. So when I had three kids under 3.5, and I would leave to go to look at doing a part-time job, by the time I was paying tax, by the time I had left the house and got daycare, I would be bringing home about an extra $3 to $4 an hour. And I knew that I was worth a lot more than that. Can anyone relate to this? Do you know how much that you are worth? You know how much you give when you are giving your best effort at something, and yet the rewards aren't there, either the financial. Some of you, I know your stories, because I've had the pleasure of working with women in this business for over 13 years now. So I know another really common story is that not feeling valued, not feeling appreciated with the people that you're working for. I know so many of you are so heart driven and giving so much and not feeling like you're being rewarded for that effort as well. So what I love about what you're going to hear about the stories today is not only do we have an incredible business model that just ticks all the boxes, that is risk-free, that is affordable, to get started with, that doesn't require big investments and risks and startups, that has a simple system that we love to teach, that many people from around the world can do. And what I love about it is it doesn't matter your age, it doesn't matter your background, your skill set, all of these things are completely in line with what we teach, which is anyone can do this business. And when you care, when you are a beautiful person that cares about others, well, you have your time of your life here, because you actually get paid to take care of people. That's how I love to describe what it is that we do. So I started this 13 years ago. 13 years ago when I had 3 kids under 3.5. And yeah, I shared that part. I was looking for something to get me out of the house. I was a little tired of the wiggles 24/7 and 3 young, very messy, very noisy toddler kids. I was going a little stir crazy. Maybe some can relate. Um, and yet I wanted to do something that would light me up. I wanted to talk to smart women. I wanted to be around mentors. I wanted some light at the end of my tunnel. And I found it. I found it here. My friend actually said to me, you know what if you could do this and have the time of your life like she was as well? And so that's what we're going to cover today, is how does the business work? You've seen other people creating a side hustle, an online income. Why not you? And I know that I had so many questions, ladies. We need to be a little bit skeptical. We need to be aware, right? And so for me, I was really, I had a lot of questions that I needed to be answered. And oh, someone just pinning me. I had a lot of questions. You know, can I do this? How many hours will I need to do this for? Is this a legit business? Can you actually make money? What kind of things will I actually be doing? And so to take us through that, I'm going to hand it over to my friend, Katie. One of the best things about this business is you get to choose who you hang out with. You get to choose your girl tribe, which I absolutely love. Katie is one of my best friends on the planet. And we have so many pinch me moments together because we're just kind of like, do we actually get paid for this? There are so many moments. We've had the pleasure of traveling the world together, doing what we love, which is taking care of people, especially empowering women. So Katie, can you take us through some of the common like myths? You know, let's do some myth busting here about, do I have to know lots of people? Do I have to be salesy and, you know, someone that I'm not really, just to sell to everyone that I know, that kind of thing?
Yeah. Hey there, everyone. Thanks for having me. I'm super excited to be on. Yeah, I had all of these questions myself, and it's funny, Linda, you just talking about having challenge or issues with your boss. You just reminded me of a time where I was an employee giving my all. Like, I have a great work ethic, as I'm sure a lot of most people do, right? But we had these targets and we set these goals. And he's like, if we hit this as a team, we've got a bonus and we've got a pay rise. And I'm like, oh my gosh, bring it on. And we absolutely smashed it out of the park. And I got my bonus, which was $100, but I got it taxed. So it was like a $66.23. I'm like, woo. And then my pay rise was 50 cents an hour. And I was gutted, like, because we really were doing everything that we could to help him grow his business. So fast forward, I've owned my own businesses. I've, I think that probably gave me a little bit of that entrepreneurial spirit to be like, nah, I can do better than that. But I think, for me, when I first came across this amazing company and business model, I'd been an employee, I've owned my own business, I'd had 40 staff at one time, I'd kind of known what it was like to put my butt on the line of rent and overheads and all of these things. And so I had a different appreciation when I really got my head around this, because I think for so many people, we're in a position where we're trading time for money. So you give an hour of your life and you get a certain amount of money back. And that's a good model, but it's a capped model. And one of the things that I love about what we get to do with this is our income is directly related to the amount of people that we're helping on their health and wellness journey. And I'm going to touch on our amazing products in just a moment. And also helping, like Linda was saying before, even an extra couple of $100 a month is a game changer for so many people. And so what's great about this, as Linda was saying, it doesn't matter who you are, how old you are, your background, if you've got a whole heap of letters before or after your name or not, everyone gets to tap into a system, a process, community, and support to help you grow and serve and help others. And, whether you are an L-plater on social media and you've got no idea how to do a story or a poll, or if that's maybe your place, a lot of people are spending hours on this thing a day. And so we can actually show you, if you're teachable and you're willing to learn, we can show you how to turn this into creating income so that you can say yes to more, pay some bills, be there with your little ones, drop a day back of work, put a little holiday fund together for your family, whatever that might be. And so I was only having a conversation with someone this morning. I don't have lots of followers on Instagram. I don't have lots of friends. I'm an introvert. All of those things are perfect. We can show you, just like if you were to go to a restaurant and start telling your friends about it because it was beautiful food and service. The same goes with our products and our business. And because everyone starts at the same place as everyone else, we all have the ability to really go through whatever level you desire. Some people have 15 minutes a day to put towards this. I know for me, when I first got started, our kids were, 3 kids under 5.5. Life was hectic. I had 40 staff at the time, and this was not something that I had space for in my life at all. However, I knew that if I continued doing things the way that I was, I couldn't expect my future to look different in 3 and 5 years from now. And I wasn't okay with my current day-to-day at that time. And so Linda had said, look, if you can find some time to wrap this around life. I was already spending time on social media. I still was working. I still was juggling the kids. But once I caught the vision of this and I really fell in love with this model and our beautiful products, then I got a fire in my belly. And so when the kids went to sleep, I was easily jumping online, and my dreams started getting built whilst, my family was sleeping, and that was okay. So it doesn't matter if you've got 10-minute bite-sized pieces of time through your day, or if you've got hours. Anyone can get started in this, and you don't need to know social media. You don't need to know anything about business to be able to do well. If you've got a genuine care for others and you love helping people, this is an amazing community to grow and work towards your goals. And I think the first thing that was super important to me is that I wanted to get behind products that I believed in. And right now in the world, we are seeing 2 major challenges and stresses that most people and families are facing. One being that of a time and lifestyle stress, meaning there's more month at the end of the money. There's challenge around that. People's hours are getting dropped, income capped, all of that. So this model is a beautiful solution. But also from a health perspective, we are seeing health statistics continuing to climb in the wrong direction. More labels and diagnosis, and kids getting on medications far too young, and all these things happening. And so much of it comes down to lifestyle choices and factors. And so for us, health has always been a really big thing for myself and my family. And so the products behind everything we get to do are these beautiful whole food products, these nutritionals from a company called Juice Plus. So these are our whole food capsules. And so the first thing I loved about these was that it's just plants. We all know if we were to eat more fruits and veg every day, I'd love you to pop into the chat. What are some of the benefits we probably would start to see? Or if you were to have 3 cold pressed juices a day, what are some of the benefits you probably start to see and notice? Because we've all got really good intentions of what our day should look like. Yet there's often a gap between the intention and what actually lands in our body, not just for ourselves, but if you're a mama, we've got the best of intentions for our kids, and they might be fussy eaters, or they just will refuse to eat certain things. So that was super important for me. I love it. Happy gut, immunity, better digestion, absolutely. Energy, calmer, skin, you got it. Absolutely. So all of these things are super important. Now, essentially what these are, they're a blend of 30 whole foods. So we get all the colors of the rainbow. A lot of us are creatures of habit, where we eat the same tomato and the spinach and the apple, or you might have a veggie graveyard in the bottom of your fridge of all of your really good intentions of like, I'm going to do that this week. I'm like doing my health kick, and then we forget about it and it just dies in the bottom of our fridge. So what's beautiful about this is they blend up the skin, the seeds, the pip, the pulp, everything, all of the beautiful nutrition. It's not just the juice part. And then they gently take the moisture out, pop it into, they take the moisture out and it's turned into a powder, and they put it into a vegan capsule. I don't know if you can see this one. This is my fruit capsule. And so they pop it in there so that it doesn't break down and denature and oxidize. So when you're flooding your body with those beautiful colors of the rainbow every day, we get to see some of these benefits that you've just spoken about. And so what's also amazing is that if you're pregnant, you can take it. If you're breastfeeding, if you're, my pop turns 100 this Saturday. And, a lot of elderly, they don't want to take tablets, so to speak. We've got these awesome gummies, these chewables, which is the same ingredients of our fruit and veg capsules, but they're in a gummy form. And also the best thing is that this company, we call the company with the heart, because we're so passionate about helping families make changes together. So any adult that goes on to our whole food capsules, they could sponsor their own child or someone else's child on the products for up to 4 years between the ages of 4 and 18 for free. So they pop the powders in, they turn it into like a little gummy form. And so the kids have these, or the adults, or my pop has these as well. And it's just an amazing way to flood the body. So I just think this is incredible that we're helping families make really, really beautiful, sustainable change. We've also got our delicious vegan smoothies. All of our products are vegan. So dairy-free, amazing goodness, 20 whole foods in these babies. Now, I don't know if you're a mum or if you're just a busy career woman, but how many times in the morning are you running out the door, grabbing a crust of someone's leftovers or a coffee, or we're filling our bellies, but we're not nourishing our bodies. So these smoothies are amazing in chocolate and vanilla. Again, kids can have them. My husband will have them as a pre or post workout, great during pregnancy. And this is my start to my day every day. So there's things in here like alfalfa sprouts and broccoli and pomegranate and mushrooms and all sorts of things that you wouldn't typically put in a smoothie. However, they taste amazing as well. And then our last product is our vegan omegas. So again, a lot of people know about good fats. We know we should be having our good fats, our omega 3, 6, and 9. Well, we skip the fish and we go straight to the plant source. And so I don't know if you ever thought about the effect on the ocean from fish oils, as well as what they have to do to the fish to get the oil out and get the smell and all of that, and the heavy metals. So we're just going straight to a vegan source, and these are beautiful for our nervous system, for our hair, skin, and nails. There's so many different benefits. So the product line is so much about helping families thrive. And I think that's so important. Most people are not thriving in this world we live in. So to couple our products and our incredible business model where you get to help people in over 30 countries around the world, I think is just incredible. So we're going to pass over to Lauren now, and she's going to share a little bit more about the business side of things and how it all works as well.
Awesome. I love what we get to do. And just following on from what Katie just shared, you do get to choose who you get to work with. And I just think it's amazing. I've been part of this business model and company now for 7 years. But unlike these beautiful women that they shared about having so many children under a certain age. I came in, I was single. I didn't have any children of my own, but I definitely had some things in life that weren't being met. I was working 3 jobs, so let me know in the chat below if you've literally worked more than one job just to get by. I know for me, that definitely wasn't the way I wanted my life to go. I had spent, 6 years living abroad. I was in my mid to late 20s, and I was a personal trainer and working 2 other jobs, which sucked my soul. Honestly, I think about the environment I get to work in now, and it's so positive and uplifting. And I used to be the girl that used to dread getting up and going to work because of who I was going to be faced with, all of that. And I wasn't, I guess, being able to live my life. I was working 7 days a week, and these products came into my life, and I actually started the business and the products at the very same time. So if you're sitting there thinking, I haven't taken this product, if you being a customer is amazing, and we've got some beautiful customers on here, but if you truly understand that we need more fruits and vegetables and we're in a health crisis, like Kate said, stats are going the wrong way, then our product is backed by science. So if you love science, all the science is there. You don't have to be the expert. You don't have to be the health professional. We just get to share something. And like these women have shared today, most of the time, we are buying things based on a recommendation. Hands up if you've ever seen your friend use a certain makeup, a certain skincare, go to a certain restaurant, see a certain movie. We're doing things, buying things based on recommendations, and we get to teach you how to do that. And so part of what we get to do is we use the products ourselves. Everyone you've heard from today is using the products. They're feeling the benefits of adding over 30 different whole foods into their diet, and we're teaching you how to share that in a really easy, authentic, genuine way. And I truly love that, and you're being rewarded for doing that. So I get to share a little bit because I know that most people come in and they want to know it's legit, which I really think that you can see by hearing everyone today and hearing their stories. You want to know that you don't need to annoy your friends and family and sell to everyone and be that person, which I know we're all scared to do, and how we get paid and actually are rewarded for what we do inside this business. So I'm just going to really quickly share that. I like to bring out the whiteboard because I'm a visual person. I definitely like to see it come to life. And so I know there's probably some people out there that are the same. And so when you come into this business, I came in just me, myself, and I. I was 27. I had never done anything like this before. I definitely did use social media, but I didn't have a massive following. I'm not an influencer or anything like that. I'm just a real life person that had big hopes and dreams, and that I wasn't happy in my current situation and I wanted things to change. It so happened that this product was just so aligned with what I already believed, and it helped me get great results. So for me, within 4 weeks, I had more energy. I wasn't napping between shifts at work, which definitely was a day-to-day thing. And I had adult acne. And so I had low confidence, I had terrible skin. And within 10 weeks, this product and our program and really just living that healthier lifestyle helped me clear that up. So what did I do? I went and shared it, and I had a few customers. I went and shared other people's results, and I had a few customers, because more and more people out there without even knowing it need what we have. We have a product that is very marketable because it's a consumer-based product, and it's around health. You know, fruits and vegetables are never going out of fashion. And then I started to share and really relate to other women in certain circumstances of myself. And I started to go what we call a team, right? We all hear the word team, but honestly, it was so uplifting that I got to be a part in their journey to help them create whatever they wanted. You know, Kirsten came in, she just wanted to get her products cheaper for her family. Katrina came in after saying no to me for 18 months, and she was a friend from school. Jay, I met on social media, I think on Facebook. Jana, I met in a Facebook group. And really quickly, I started to identify that there are so many other people out there looking for more of what we have, looking for more fun, more community, more income, right? To be able to do the things that you love. And then I just went and taught these guys what I had been taught, sharing our story, inviting people to come to cool events like this, learn about it, see what it was, and it grew from there. Today, 7 years on, we have a team of over 1,000 people, and I do not know everyone inside of it. And it just goes to show that if you care enough about people, and if you really, there are so many people out there looking. And again, it's sometimes not who you know, it's sometimes about the next person you meet. And social media, right, is such an incredible way to leverage your time and be able to do it in a really easy and convenient way around, that's my product part, around your life. Like Kate shared, in 10-minute time chunks, right? I used to do it between shifts and at night instead of watching MasterChef, which is my ultimate favorite show. And then around how we get paid is usually we go to work, we get a salary, or we get a dollar figure per hour for our time. Here, you actually are rewarded for the work that you put in. Like Linda shared, what I've done 5 years ago, I'm being rewarded for still today. And that is the beauty of compounding. That is the beauty of a leveraged income and more of a passive income. If I go to work at a job that I used to have, then I get paid. If I don't go to that job, I didn't get paid, and I definitely didn't get, a lot of sick leave, and I got 4 weeks leave per year. For me, that just definitely, I really understood that even if I was just to do this part-time in stolen moments in and around my life, it was such an incredible way to be able to, help for the future. And so here we get a retail sales profit. So anywhere from 10 to 25%. Now, I don't know about you, but 25% is a lot of retail sales profit to be able to grow towards. 10% is amazing. And then you can actually give yourself a pay rise. So you don't have to hold stock. You don't have to buy it and ship it. It's a drop shipping model, meaning that all I do is I go online, I have my beautiful online office, I do an order, it goes to our warehouse in Newcastle, and they box it, they ship it, and they bill our customer. And all I get to do is the fun part, and that's take care of people and love all my customers. And I get a retail sales profit for doing that. Then I get paid bonuses. So I'm not sure about you. Katie said about $100 bonus that was then taxed. We get paid anywhere from $100 our bonuses start, and they range up to $15,000. I don't like to share that because for some people it's just like, oh my goodness, are you kidding me? I've never, been offered that amount of money in my life, but it's in proportion to how much you want to grow your business. And I just want to let that be really clear. But $100 bonus, and they're exponential, meaning I can go out and I can go and help more people, and I can earn more bonuses as I go. There's no cap on that, and there's no ceiling on our business. Again, if I want to put in more work, if I've got more time, then I can be paid proportionally for that. And then our commissions, which is a small percentage. If you know anything about compounding, like if you have money in the bank, compounding interest on top of that, it's a small percentage that builds over time. This is kind of, I call it the now money. It's the fun money. Bonuses, definitely spend some of it on yourself. This is girls want to have fun, go to the spa, or, really treat yourself. We really instill that in our culture. But this definitely is the future money. It's something that can build incrementally over time, that can be able to set you up for those bigger things and those bigger goals in life. So to bring this to life, that's all well and good. We get paid very well, and there's some incredible bonuses and offers that our company are so generous. But to bring it to life, it's all about the stories. And so for me, I get to introduce two beautiful women that have been part of our company and business model for a little while now. Two very different stories, but just to show you what's possible in this. So I'm going to take it over to Deb first, and Deb's going to share a little bit about her journey and what she's been able to achieve.
Thanks, Loz. Hello, ladies. I just would first, I'll let you know how life was before I started. It was about 5 years ago, I think, and I'm a mum of two girls. Macy at the time was about 9 and Lily was about 14, and my husband of forever ago, he and I have a beautiful life, and we had what I thought was the dream life. I was working really hard. I'm in hospitality. I'm a hospitality manager, and I thought I was living the dream life. I was working 50 hours a week, most weeks, if not more. I had 2 great kids and a husband that was incredibly supportive. And so honestly, 5 years ago, I had no interest in doing anything else. I truly thought that this was me. I was going to be the hotelier of the year. I was going to tell other women how amazing hospitality was. But I came across it in the product first because Craig actually got cancer, and that in itself is quite a life-changing moment. And you just realise that maybe things are a little bit more uncertain than what you expect. So anyway, I looked at the product first, and actually it was my cousin who was beautiful enough to share this with me, but she had to nag me because she's like, Debbie, have you watched the video? Debbie, have you watched the video? I was like, I don't even have time to brush my hair, man. I haven't watched the video. Anyway, I did. It was literally midnight one night after work, and I laid in bed and I saw a video a bit like this, I guess. And I was a bit gobsmacked because I'd never seen anything like this before. I certainly wasn't looking for anything. Like I said, I had the dream life. I got to work 50 hours a week for someone else and make a basic wage, or not a bad wage, but I got to do that every single week. I got to leave my kids at home or take them to daycare and be okay with that. I got to let Craig cook dinner every night and get him to get the kids to bed. I got to let my mother-in-law see them walk for the first time, and I was okay with that because that's what I had convinced myself. And it wasn't until I laid in bed that midnight that night that I thought, wow, is this something that I could do? Because if it is, maybe I could be the mum who didn't have to do that. Sorry. And maybe I could be the mum that could still be at home with their kids, but not have to give up the financial side, because I saw my mum struggle to be at home my whole life. She was, a mum was 6 and didn't want to leave us at home. So she stayed home, but it meant that, you know, there was a limited funds. So I was kind of stuck between being the mum that my mum was, but being financially able to provide. So that's why I did the 50-hour weeks. Sorry. When I saw this video, I actually found my heart, my heart opened up, because I thought, my God, could this be a chance for me to have both? And I hadn't had hope like that for my whole career, because I'd never allowed myself to think that way. So rather than worry and question it, I just believed what I saw, because I saw people like Loz share her story. I saw people like Linda, and I just figured for the sake of having a crack, I might as well. And let me tell you, 5 years ago, I said yes, and I've never looked back. It's changed my life in so many ways. I'm still at the pub, still working full time. I am really grateful for my job, because it pays my bills and it feeds my kids. But what it wasn't doing wasn't letting me live on my days off when I was really friggin' tired. I was just chilling out and staying home, because we didn't have the cash to go out and do stuff. But I have built a beautiful business in very much my stolen moments, in very much my spare time. And a couple of years ago, it was my 20th wedding anniversary. And I was able to save up my little Juice Plus fund money, my funds. And after our holiday to Tasmania for our 20th anniversary, we flew home. The next day, I had my bags packed for Craig and I, his passport in my back pocket, and I snuck him off to the airport, and I surprised him with a holiday to Hawaii. He got on the plane with no idea he had to cancel all his jobs for the next day, because he didn't know he was going. He thought he was working the next day, but because of me believing in myself enough that one time when I said yes, and over the last few years, I was able to do that for my husband, and he's the most important person in my life. So that was the best. And over the years, we've been able to do stuff with our kids we couldn't have dreamed of. But I'll tell you, the thing is, my life has been so different the last 5 years because of the money. But the biggest change was I went from a lady, a lady who just worked really hard in hospitality. I have a great work ethic. Who had to fight every step of the way to get to the promotions that I wanted to strive. I had a goal to get to the best, or be the best, and I am really good at my job. But every time I stepped up, it was almost like they're like, okay, there's the carrot. Oops, there it goes again. Up you get again, bit more. And every time I gave more, they took more. And every time they took more, I felt just less. And if I didn't do what I needed to do, I felt completely inferior. And over the 5 years in this business, I've given it everything I have. And when I didn't give it everything I had, and I stepped back, there was no one there saying, you're useless, you've failed, you've this, you've that. And in fact, it was completely opposite. It was like Lauren sending me messages telling me how much she just appreciated me, and Linda believing in me and telling me it's okay, you can do it when you're ready, mate. And I have been up and down and have been grateful the whole time. I get recognized and seen for where I'm at, not expectation. And that's something I'm not used to, something I wasn't used to. And I don't think it's just my job. I think it's most traditional business. And that's a business model that works for them. But I tell you what, this works for me better. And I'm so grateful. And so thank you for letting me share. I'm sorry I got teary, a bit of a sook. But, and the only other thing I just wanted to say was that a change that I've seen in myself and in the team around me and the people I get to work with is that the femininity, like this is perfect opportunity to talk about it because it's a girls just want to have fun. But often, to have a sook on TV you're laughed at. But I've spent my whole working career being tough and pretending that I was one of the boys and I was going to get to the top and no matter what. But this opened up the chance for me to be a little bit more realistic and in who I am. And I find that that's so important and so powerful that I get to teach that to my girls now, because I would never have learnt it before this business. So thank you, everyone.
I love it. Oh my goodness. I'm now You just have all the tears, Deb, all the tears. But if Kirsty just wants to kind of share her story, before we kind of wrap it up, I just love the real shares. So take it away, Kirsty.
Hello, everyone. I'm so honoured to be able to share and speak on this event today. It's definitely one of my favourite. Girls just want to have fun. Damn right we do. So my story is a little bit different to Deb's, and I love hearing that story. I'm a Melbourne mama of a beautiful 2-year-old. He turned 2 yesterday. So gosh, where does time go? And before I became a mum, I had another business. So I had a traditional business. I owned a direct marketing company for just shy of 10 years. So I come from a background where I've always worked for myself. I've always had my own business. And I suppose after 10 years in that industry, I really reached a point where I had completely burnt out. That I had a very successful business, but that success meant a lot of sacrifices. I worked 70, 80-hour weeks. I was out the door when it was dark. I was home when it was dark, and that was life. Although I loved what I did and the money was great, it really started to take a pretty detrimental toll on me. My mental health was really suffering. It was affecting my relationships. I suppose I was just burning the candle at both ends, and something had to give before it was me that would break, I suppose. So I closed the door to that business and had a little dabble in the corporate world. And then I actually became a mum, which, was the greatest gift of all, right? And definitely the greatest job of all. But I guess after the 12-month mark of becoming a mama, I really started to spiral again. And the truth was, I was really feeling like I had just lost myself. I speak to so many mums and hear this story so often about how, it's not getting to know your baby, it's getting to know the new you. And that was something that I really struggled with. I had gone from being this go-getter, entrepreneur, driven, motivated. Career was one of my highest values. Everyone knew me as Kirsty in that business. And this new me, I was so uneasy with. I also live in Melbourne. So by the time I reached this point of feeling this way, we were in lockdown for a very long time last year. And that was pretty tough. I remember feeling like a total shell of myself. And I needed to do something. I have always wanted to have my own business again. I always knew and dreamed that I would work for myself. The goal was always for me that once I had kids, I would do something for me, work for myself, work from home. The truth was, though, the idea of starting another business was pretty scary. I didn't know where to start. I had all of these ideas. I'm an Aries. I've got all of the ideas, but just starting is sometimes the hardest part. So this business I was familiar with this business. I actually had a little dabble with this business many, many years ago. Wasn't ready, if I'm honest. And when this business came back into my life and was placed in front of me, to be honest, when I leant in and had a look at it again, and heard stories like you have today, it ignited the flame again. It was this instant burning desire. Like I felt like Kirsty came back to life, like hearing these stories. And damn, Deb, you got me. But it's true. I really felt like I found myself again. And what I loved the most about it was the fact that it's a global business in a box that we get to. I didn't have to come up with the idea. I didn't have to find the product. I didn't have to start the business. It existed. I got to take my experience and I got to plug into it and learn. And the community support and what you get out of this, like, if you start a business, you don't get to, let's say you go and start a gym, you don't get to go and ask the gym across the road, what's been working? How are you getting all your clients? What are you doing? How are you bringing all these people in? Like they would just laugh at you and tell you kindly to off. So what I love about our business is what you get with it is the opposite. It's, you know, someone's doing well, they're sharing that, you're learning from them. You can ask anyone for help, support. We get so many, you know, the training and the development we get out of this business is just insane. I paid big bucks for coaching and personal and professional development in my career, and to have access to it at my fingertips and the support of women raising you up is just incredible. So it has given me the ability to start another business that I now can work around my son. I can do that in my time. And, you know, I'm building something now so that when baby number 2 comes for us, it's not just about like, we give it all up, right? Like it's not just about giving up the money, but I am terrified to go back to feeling how I felt. I don't want to lose my identity again, and I don't want to lose myself the way I did back then. So that's what this is giving me. And, you know, the real dream for us, it's always been the dream, but particularly even more, I'm sick of these lockdowns. I don't want to be in Melbourne. So we are travelers. We love to travel. We are adventurers, and that's one of our highest values as a family. And the idea for us that we can travel, we can go and live in other places. We can take our caravan away while we have young kids, and I can still earn an income. That is really, really exciting for us. So yeah, it's given me so much more than I could have ever imagined. And I'm truly grateful for this business. I just wish that I started it sooner. But thank you so much for having me share today.
Oh my goodness, this was just so, today was all the feels. So much of my story from 13 years ago is still playing out, which is what I love, which was just a place to belong, a place to be valued, and a place where you could dream again, where I could not only find my identity, but as Deb just wrote here, a redo, come back stronger, a do better chance. I think that, you know, to put a bow on this, it's the emotional revenue. I think that that's what you're hearing. Once you know that you are able to align with a 50-year-old company who promotes the world's biggest selling health product, that also happens to be the world's most researched product of any product category, and then you partner that with you know, the emotional stories about people improving their health, about people investing in themselves, and then also the chance to align with women and empower women and to cheer each other on and co-elevate and collaborate. It's not competition here. It is the exact opposite, just like Kirsty was saying. And the chance to, I was invited to start dreaming 13 years ago. What if, when my friend circled back around to me and said, what if you could? And finally I had one of those moments like Deb, like, what if I really could do this? And thank goodness that I said yes. And I have not stopped inviting women that I care about to come and take a look ever since. And I invite you to do the same. What if this could be the one thing? And we show you the way. We have 3 team mantras, and they're so important to us, ladies. The first is, you are a blessing in this team, no matter what. It doesn't matter if you want to do this full time and completely crush it all the way to the top and clean up in $98,000 worth of bonuses all the way to the top position, right? Or if it's that extra $200 a month. That's what I personally said yes to, was $200 extra a month that I knew would bring back some confidence. It would bring back me money, and it would allow us to start dreaming again. So the second one is, you go at your own pace. Some people have 10, 15, 20 hours of extra time to invest in this, and some have 1 or 2 hours. Whatever time that you have to invest, it's your business. This business meets you where you're at in those stolen moments and nooks and crannies of your day. And the third is, you're acceptable as you are. Right here, right now. You don't need to know anything. It doesn't matter your age, your background, your skill set. It is never too late. And we invite you to come and take a look, get your questions answered. And we would love to be sharing your story on an event like this too. So thank you to all the beautiful presenters. You have filled my cup and my heart yet again today. And thank you. If you're a guest watching, thank you so much, either the replay or live. Let's answer your questions as well. Thank you, ladies. You are spectacular. See you here again next Monday. Mwah. Bye, everyone.